Hello friends, hope you are having a fantastic day today. So now we are going to solve Facebook's most asked question. This question has literally been asked 142 times at Facebook. So this is a very popular LeetCode interview question, and without any delay, let's get started. Okay, so the LeetCode problem we are solving today is called minimum remove to make valid parentheses book, and we can see that this is a LeetCode medium problem and also a very well-liked problem. Now the problem statement is quite simple, that we are given a string that contains bunch of different opening and closing parentheses and lowercase English characters. Now at any given moment, if we identify that the parentheses are in correct sequence, like the same number of parentheses that are opened are also closed, then we call them valid. But if we identified some invalid parentheses, then we simply have to remove them. So let's try to understand this with an example. It would make much more sense. And we can see that bunch of the parentheses are actually at the wrong position. First one we can see over here, where we have a closing parentheses, but we don't have any opening parentheses somewhere here before, which means this is an invalid parentheses. Same way, this is also an invalid closing parentheses, because though this pair of parentheses are valid, this is not valid. And same way, we have an additional opening parentheses. So in this case, we have three parentheses that are invalid. So if we simply get rid of these three parentheses that we just identify, then we would have our query that will look like this. And now we can see that this entire sequence is actually valid, where we have two pairs of opening and closing parentheses, so they are valid, and also we have a bunch of different smaller English language characters and they are also valid. So we simply have to identify that which are the index positions that we need to remove in order to make a valid parentheses pair or a valid query. Okay, so let's simply see the brute force approach very quickly. Brute force approach is very simple. For any query that we are given, all we need to do is that we simply go over every single character, and the moment we identified either an opening or closing parentheses, so in this case we identify a closing parentheses, so once again we would go back and try to find an opening parentheses. If we cannot find it, we identified that this one is invalid, and then we move forward. Same way, the moment we identify an opening parentheses, once again we would move forward to try to find a closing parentheses that is going to match up with that. If we find it, that's great. If we don't find it, then in that case we would deem that parentheses as invalid. And if we keep on moving forward in that direction, we would eventually find the answer. But the thing is, there is a lot of back and forth we are doing, and essentially for every single character, in the worst case, we might have to do like big O of n square work in order to solve this problem, which is a lot of work needs to be done just to solve this problem. And this is actually a very simple problem to solve. So now let's quickly see the optimal solution for this one. So now let's try to see that what would be the optimal solution to solve this problem. And for that, we will have to understand just a couple of things, that what are the exact checks we are making. Number one thing we are checking is that at any given moment we identify that any particular opening parentheses exist. This can only be valid if further down the road we identify that there exists some closing parentheses. Okay, and same way, if we identify some closing parentheses, this can only be valid if there exists a subsequent opening parentheses presented in counterpart towards this one. If there does not exist any, which means this is one of the invalid ones. So using these two conditions, what we need to do is, for every single opening parentheses, we need to keep it stored somewhere that there might be a closing parentheses somewhere down the line. And the moment we identified some closing parentheses, we will have to check that whether there exists an opening parenthesis immediately before that is going to match with it. So a very good data structure in this case would be stack to solve this problem. Why? Because stack has the property of last in first out that we are going to use at its maximum to solve this problem. And let's quickly understand that what I mean. Now the thing is, through stack we would be able to tell that which parentheses is invalid. But the thing is, we would still need to recreate this entire string in order to solve this problem. So what we can do is, the moment through stack we identify that any particular indices is invalid, whether opening or closing parentheses, we can just simply create maybe like a hash set or some other data structure where we are simply going to keep track of all the variables or all the index positions that are invalid. This will help us to rebuild the entire string after we find out all the invalid parentheses. Okay. And the logic we are going to apply is that for a stack, if the moment we identify that there exists an opening parentheses, we are going to push the opening parentheses down the stack. The moment we identify a closing parentheses, we are going to check inside the stack that whether there exists an opening parentheses to counter this closing parenthesis. If it does, we are simply going to pop that parentheses out, so marking that this entire pair is going to be considered valid. Now for some peculiar case we identify that there exists a closing parenthesis but there is no opening parenthesis, then this needs to go to the set because this is an invalid entry. And using this logic we would be able to solve this problem quite easily. So let's quickly see the solution that I'm proposing. Okay, and also let me quickly mark all the index positions and also initialize a hash set where we are going to store all the indices. Okay, so very first element is a lowercase English letter element, so we will just move forward. Now we identified a closing parentheses. So now the moment we identify a closing parentheses, we will need to check inside our stack that does there exist an opening parentheses. Currently the stack is empty. Because the stack is empty, this is an invalid position. So we are going to mark the index position inside our set as 1. Next, we will move on towards the next element. This one is also a lowercase English character, so we move forward. This is an opening parentheses. So opening parentheses has to go into the stack. So we are going to mark its index location inside the stack. So we identified value number 3 over here. Okay, next is also a random character. Now this one is also a closing parentheses. So closing parentheses, we check that whether in the stack do we have any entry, and yes we do. So we will actually pop this element out. So we pop this element out. Currently stack is empty. Now because stack is empty, we also identified that there exists an opening parentheses. So a closing parentheses, and we once again needs to check into the stack, but stack is empty, which means this is also an invalid character. So we are going to mark 5 over here. We get once again we can ignore this one. Now this one is an opening parentheses, so we enter over here. Once again opening parentheses, so once again we enter into the stack. We can ignore this one. Now this 10 is also a closing parentheses. So for the closing parentheses we can pop one value out. So we pop 8 out from our stack, but the thing is in our stack we still have value number 7 left, which means that this value number 7 is also an invalid stack because we just run out of all the characters inside the string. So we have an extra opening parentheses as well that we need to remove. So we can mark this value. And now if we remove this character 1, 5 and 7 from our existing string, we would get our string that looks like this, where the values are going to be valid, and this is what we need to return in the answer. So basically we can very easily solve this problem using the stack. If we see time and space complexity, time complexity is going to be big O of n, where n is the number of characters that are present inside the stack, and space complexity is simply going to be big O of n as well, because we are using an extra stack and also an extra hash set to store a bunch of different values. Okay, so now let's quickly see the coding solution for this one. So coding solution for this one is quite straightforward. First we initialize our hash set and our stack, then we simply iterate over the given string, and for every single character we first check that if the given character is an opening parentheses, we push it down the stack. If it is a closing parentheses, and if the stack is empty, which means we identified an unexpected closing parentheses, so we simply add that character to our remove indices hash set that we have created, add its index position. And if that is not the case, we simply pop the element out of the stack, because stack already has an opening parenthesis. This is what it means. Now in the end, after this particular loop has ended, we would have taken care of all the unexpected closing parentheses that were present, but we still have to take care of the opening parentheses, and they would still be present as unmatched opening parentheses inside the stack. So any single element that is present inside the stack, we simply take them out and work on and add them to our hash set as well. In the end, we simply need to build a string in order to generate the answer. So for that, we remove every single character that are present inside our hash set, and then just create and append the string that was already given to us in the input, and then we simply return that as the answer. So this is the whole solution. Let's try to run this code. And our code works as expected, so no issues with that. Let's submit this code. And our solution is pretty fast compared to a lot of other solutions. Once again, the coding solution is present inside the description of the GitHub link that I have provided below this video, so you can go and check it out from there. Thank you.